What take are we really on?
Action. Oh, man.
That's true. He already took care of that. He made it unfun because now he's doing Britney Spears.
Yeah, now he's doing it.
All right, Kung Fu Panda 4. DreamWorks' latest. Last DreamWorks movie was not great.
Trolls?
I'm sorry, the one before that. Trolls was good. Trolls was good.
Trolls was all right.
They're back on a streak again, and that would be, 3 out of 4 that have been absolute.
Ruby Gillman was garbage.
But before that was Puss in Boots.
Yeah, which was great.
So this is a 3 out of 4.
Back to formula.
Back to formula.
Back to formula. Back to formula. I'm lukewarm on it. I had fun watching it. I think it's a good movie. Was it necessary?
No, I will agree with you.
Not at all.
100%.
No, we didn't need this movie to exist, but I'm glad I watched it.
Did you like it more than Toy Story 4?
Yeah. I think I liked it more than most Pixar movies that have come out in the past 10 years. Like, it's not up its own ass like a Soul, as an example of a kid's movie that's like more real and it has depth. Like, no, this is very like it's a special of a cartoon show that like got it made into a movie is what it feels like. Like the Jimmy Neutron movie or what, you know what I mean?
It's
like,
more fun.
Yeah, they definitely had a lot more fun with it.
I looked at it as more like a Puss in Boots 2 light, like I was telling you. It felt like a kid version of that. He was kind of facing the same things, but on a much
Puss in Boots 2
level.
Puts you into like, I need to go to therapy.
Yeah. Oh, I have anxiety. Oh yeah, the death thing and everything.
He like has panic attacks. Like this one posed like, get your surf off my turf, you know, like every 8 seconds. Like it's just shitty one-liners.
That's the problem.
And cheesy jokes. Yeah.
It didn't hit like the other 3 did.
No.
Yep, that's good shit.
Like they managed to mix in the original 3 the humor with the seriousness, and it was like perfect. Right now they like have this real build up at the beginning of the movie that slides and this cut over to Poe, who's like surfing the surf and turf line, and you're like, oh,
no,
is that?
Yeah, that's the level we're getting. That's the level we're bringing it.
Which I think with the Netflix show that came out,
The Dragon Knight.
Yes.
Which I believe is set in a different Kung Fu Panda universe.
No, it's this one.
I don't think so.
Oh, it's not supposed to be?
They call him the Dragon Master. And he's the Dragon Warrior, and he's been the Dragon Warrior in every single movie. So I think there's a multiverse of Kung Fu Panda movies, and that's like, they're DCUing.
The KFCU?
Right? The KFPCU. Yeah. So that's over there. Because they like retcon that the dad was like this pirate king and like was betrothed to the pirate queen.
Poe's dad?
Yeah. The goose? Yeah. Yeah. And then like they go to Britain and like have to deal with like Knights of the Round Table and shit.
So cool to be here in England.
Yeah, this is the show.
That can't be canon.
See what I'm trying to say? So I don't think it is. They bring up something that happened in like the Nickelodeon show, like Legends of Awesomeness, where like
when they had the Jack Black impersonator.
Yeah.
Jim Brown.
They got Jack White actually to be they do introduce something that like Mantis has like a bride or whatever.
The most beautiful mantis in the world. And my ex-fiance.
That's like was an episode of that show.
So that's what's getting canon lean?
Well, probably not. But like me who grew up with it and watched that show goes like, that's from the thing. Probably not from the thing.
And they did that's the name of the movie thing.
That's the name of the movie.
And I know we always joke about that. The Kung Fu Panda.
He said it! He said it!
And then stares at the camera. Hold. Got it. Got the shot.
I audibly groaned, being the only person in my theater.
The only adult, is what you were gonna say.
The only soul, adult or child, in my theater, which is kind of sad to see.
It is.
For a Kung Fu Panda 4.
Except that it smashed at the box office.
And it crushed, so I'm happy that it made money. This one introduces another character because the 5 are all off doing other missions.
They saved 30 to 40 million
not paying
to just
those
pay
actors.
Awkwafina like $1 million to not have Jackie Chan.
Like, do you want to be in Kung Fu Panda? She's like, yeah, you know, in her Awkwafina voice, yeah. The 5 are all off on other missions. Like it's Far From Home.
It's hard over the head too.
Yeah.
Mantis is this, and you know, Cobra, Snake, whatever is this, and blah 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 blah. And they literally have to tell you what each one is doing one by one.
Animating little scenes like in the background of what they're doing. Yeah, I didn't like that. I thought it was a cop out to not have the 5 in it. Would it have enhanced the plot? No, because it's not about them. It's about Poe having to find the next Dragon Warrior.
His thing.
It's too soon for that. What's it been like?
You're retiring.
What's it been like a year? Like max?
Like in that world?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, I know we've had like
15
years, but he hasn't been the Dragon Warrior for 15 years. Like, there's no way.
No.
There's no fucking way.
No way.
Like,
No.
otherwise he'd look older, you know.
This feels like it's pretty close to 3. Like, dad's moved to town. He's living with other dad.
My Two Dads.
My Two Dads,
Yeah.
which is the best part of the
Super
movie,
funny.
honestly.
The B plot.
The B plot.
Yeah.
Every time they cut to the B plot, it's a lot of stuff actually laugh out loud. Funny.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I would take a show with just those two. You
I
know,
would.
Bryan Cranston and the
fact that
Asian
they
dude
can get
and
Bryan
everything.
Cranston to come back even do the voice, and the fact that he sounds like he's genuinely just absolutely having a
Yeah.
ball with the role, it makes it that much better.
Yeah, I would have. I don't know what else I would have done with this movie.
The
Jen,
bad guy needed to be better.
the bad guy,
you're
and
doing a 4.
and the new character were like, and Awkwafina's character, we're just kind of like, oh, they're there now.
Yeah, she
you know?
grew on me more. Awkwafina did by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Just because her voice, she's just endearing. That's why they put her in all the
she's
movies.
fun. She sounds funny. She is funny. You know, I like Awkwafina. A lot of people on the internet
I
seem
think
to
she's-
hate her, but
she's
I don't get
funny.
it. She's funny. She made Raya like
The only thing
the
enjoyable
only
about
redeemable
Raya.
part.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, him saying his own name, Kung Fu Panda, didn't
was
hit.
rough.
The villain was a little rough, even though Viola Davis killed
She
it.
was fine,
Yeah.
but like the first 3 villains for the first 3 movies are legendary. They
iconic.
make the movies.
They're iconic.
And this is just
Yeah.
like, oh, it's generic. And they meta in the movie. Oh, you're a generic villain. Like,
Like, yeah, so what? I want to take over
you
the
guys
world.
wrote the movie.
Yeah.
You can't make fun of the villain you wrote.
We're self-referential, though. And if we're self-referential, we're in on the joke. You know, we know she's a cliche bad guy.
It's so,
Yeah,
I
I know.
hate it, though.
I know. I'd give this movie a 6 out of 10. I know that sounds a little low,
it's a
but
little low.
I think it should have done a little bit better.
I agree.
Being a Kung Fu Panda 4.
I do appreciate them not adding the 5 because they could have went the Pixar Toy Story route and just ruined it.
Yeah.
And they didn't. They said, let's see if we can squeeze another adventure, see if people want it. Let's not step on any canon very much, and let's
No.
just kind of see where people are at.
Just throw it in.
And
Except
see.
they do. There's
A
lot
little.
of. Well, it's like you have to find the next Dragon Warrior.
I'm not going to be the Dragon Warrior anymore?
Like that's pretty huge.
That is huge. But
You
that's what I
know?
mean. That's one of those things where if they don't make another movie, if it wasn't successful, then you just assume, you know.
She becomes a Dragon Warrior, and then.
And that's
whatever.
not really spoiling. I mean, the trailer
it's
set,
the most obvious
set
thing.
it up. But
Yeah, who's gonna be the new Dragon Warrior? This new character we fucking introduced in this movie? Yeah, probably. Is she gonna betray him by the end of the movie? Yeah, probably. Because it's a PG DreamWorks movie.
it's a PG kung fu movie. They
a PG kung fu
all
movie.
play the exact same.
All play the exact
same.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna give it a 7 though because I did enjoy. It's beautiful.
the animation's
They
great.
keep
The soundtrack is great.
the soundtrack.
Jack Black doing a Britney Spears cover in the end credits is the entire reason you should go see this movie.
It's funny,
It
yeah.
is one of the best songs I think
He
Tenacious
kills
D
it,
has,
like, it's so
or at least
funny.
covers
Yeah.
they've done. It is. The music video is so fucking stupid too because it's just all of them like slow mo fake
Yeah.
fighting at the red carpet. I'm like,
And then they speed up and they have a funny line and a
Yeah.
dialogue, and then it
Yeah.
goes back into the fighting while the song's playing. Yeah, I'm just happy DreamWorks seems to be back in their groove, which means Shrek 5 will hopefully be just,
which I haven't announced yet.
you know, but that's probably
Yeah.
70% done.
And they're dipping into live action with How to Train Your Dragon, so I'm like, ooh,
That's
I don't
true.
know.
But I just
don't know.
thought if Disney managed to keep Moana quiet,
Yeah.
and Inside Out 2 as quiet as they
Okay.
did for as long as they did, you can't tell me
Okay.
Shrek's not already half done.
Yeah, fair. They've all come out and said they do a fifth.
Showing the end of Puss in Boots, going into Far, Far Away.
That movie made some cheddar cheese.
Yeah, no Puss in Boots, but it was fun.
Yeah,
Take your kids. I'm gonna take the kids. I'm gonna go see it
take
again.
your kids for sure.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is definitely a kids movie.
It's a super kids movie.
And does that make it a bad movie? No.
This reminded me,
But-
I'll end it with this. It's like DreamWorks took the Illumination route and
Yes.
said, let's make it colorful.
This is
Let's-
their migration.
Exactly. Let's make
Yeah.
it just stupid fun. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a fun, colorful movie that kids will go, that was funny. And the parents will go, that was not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
It didn't go up his own ass like you said, the Pixar movies. It wasn't Wish. It wasn't like where you just didn't care.
If I could recommend one last thing, I would recommend not watching the other ones leading up to this, like Kung Fu Panda movies.
Yeah, watch them after this.
Watch
if
them
you, if you
after
haven't
this,
seen the
because
other
I just
ones.
rewatched like the first and second one. I'm like, oh, those are solid fucking movies.
Classic
They're
movies.
solid
Animation
movies.
or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one is probably the best.
See,
I like
think
three,
the second one.
but the
Third's the
second
most
one-
fun.
Yeah.
The second one I think is the best movie.
Oh, plot wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first one's just a classic now at this point. Yeah. Yeah. Kung Fu Panda 4. Go see it. I recommend you see it. Don't wait for streaming on this one. I would go to the theaters.
Yeah,
'Cause it
it's
is a very
beautiful.
like theater movie.
It's a super
Yeah.
beautiful movie, yeah.
And it's funny. It has a lot of jokes. And Dustin Hoffman being his inner voice like the whole fucking time
That's really
is like,
funny.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah. All right. Kung Fu Panda.
a realistic Vulture instead of like an MCU comic Vulture. So
Okay.
something is buzzing
I
right
think
now about
Raimi
Spider-Man
has come out
4.
and said he would
Yeah.
absolutely, after doing Strange, he remembered how much he loved the comic book stuff and would absolutely come back to
Tobey
do it.
Maguire said
for it.
he'll
Maguire
do it,
would
right?
too.
Yeah.
I just don't know what you would do. I would take it. I would be there day one. I would give you the money.
You can't do what you were going to do for a Spider-Man 4.
No, see what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Like,